Welcome, beloveds. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. Welcome to the first day of the best of your life. I am Astarius Miraculi. I love you so much. I champion you. I see the resonance of your highest, most lofty potential. And today my subject is decoding the breath of life. You know, breath is something that is so taken for granted by those of us in this physical experience. And I am here to encourage us to take greater advantage of this amazing blessing that we have been given by our Creator. It is said that God breathed the breath of life into man's nostrils, and he became a living soul. In the image of God created he him, male and female, created he them. And breath is the life force by which we are created. Breath is stillness in slow motion. For when we are in deep relationship with breath, we are able to enter into that place of stillness. And it is stillness in slow motion, because even in that stillness, we are yet in that constant state of expansion. Just like the universe, just like God, Goddess Absolute, we are infinitely expanding down the corridors of forever. Breath is stillness in slow motion. Breath is both involuntary and voluntary. Most human beings deal with the breath pretty exclusively in the involuntary way, because we don't have to think about breathing. Breath is a natural occurrence within us. You know, breath really breathes us. But we're not in full mastery of the breath until we become voluntary breathers. The voluntary resonance of breath. We become conscious breathers. When we breathe deep and full breaths, we're bringing a greater measure of life force into our body, our soul. Breath is the breast milk of Source. It is the means by which we have received our life, and it is that which expands and blesses the continuity of life. We feel the movement of God through the movement of our breath. For breath is God within, hiding in plain sight. So many people have the attitude, I just would really like to have a deeper relationship with God. I would really like to know that God is here. And the perpetual evidence of the presence of God within each and every one of us is the movement of our breath. We feel the movement of God through the movement of our breath. Breath is God within, hiding in plain sight. Inhalation is the access to inspiration, the entering in of spirit. Exhalation is expiration, the exiting of spirit. Breath is the central core of being and is untouched by any negativity. For breath transcends all imbalanced emotions. Breath is the resonance of our moving center. And the center is impenetrable by anything that is anti-divine. Anything that is not reflecting the presence of God, the essence of God, cannot align with the center. The central core of our being is untouched by any darkness. And that is where breath, which is our moving center, lives. The breath in our body is a wave moving within the ocean of life as God. God is likened to the ocean. You and me are likened to the wave. There is no place where the ocean of God ends and the wave of man, woman begins. Take a wave out of the ocean into the laboratory and analyze it, and you find that every element found within the whole body of the ocean is also found in the one wave. And when the wave flows with the tide of the ocean, the whole power of the ocean is in back of that wave. The whole power of the ocean of God, allness, is in back of the wave of man-woman when we are in alignment with our breath. Breath is the fuel of all that is known or ever will be known. Breath infuses the brain cells. Every deep breath fuels and fires the brain cells and makes the mind a sharper and greater portal for knowledge and wisdom. When we breathe deep, full breaths, the brain is powerfully oxygenated. And when the brain receives more oxygen, then the mind is sharper. Breath is the breast milk of source. Time to drink up. Breath is the Spirit of God, or let me say breath being the Spirit of God, is eternal. And it extends all the way from the beginningless beginning into the endless end. Breath is the affirmation of the eternality of our soul. Breath is our connection and access code to eternity. For breath extends from the beginningless beginning to the endless end. The deeper your relationship with your breath, the more powerfully aligned you are with the reality of you that is eternal, enabling you to then transcend the likelihood of sickness and maladies. Breath is our connection and access code to eternity. Birth and death are the two great facets of breath. Upon birth, the first axis of breath is the inhalation. Upon death, the last axis of breath is the exhalation. We inhale our way into our body and exhale our way into our spirit. Breath is likened to a circle. It's one of the reasons why I have such love for the didgeridoo, which, when played appropriately, is played through circular breathing, and you don't hear gaps within the sound. For the inhalation is fed into the exhalation, and there is a circularity of breath which creates the continuity of sound. And people are so mystified by the didgeridoo because it reminds us of our own reality. Because prior to our entry into the physical, we all were aware of the circularity of breath. Inhalation fed into exhalation, being one eternal circularity of breath and reality. Every deep breath is a prayer for life and lengthens the physical lifespan. Every shallow breath denies life and limits the welcoming of God into the kingdom of our body and soul. Every deep breath fuels and fires the brain cells and makes the mind sharper and a greater portal for knowledge and wisdom. Every word is the movement of breath. Every song is the melody of breath. You cannot speak without breathing. You cannot sing without breathing. What are the words that you are speaking? What are they aligned with? Are they in alignment with that which is reflecting your most exalted nature? To speak negative words is to breathe life into something that is a great disadvantage to your being. Breath is the breast milk of Source, the breast milk of God. Time to drink up. Breath is the fuel of ecstasy and bliss. When we feel bliss and ecstasy, the reality of that great feeling is usually carried forth upon the wings of our breath. And during the day, plants, trees, and all vegetation emits massive amounts of oxygen. Breath is the breast milk of Source. Time to drink up. Mouth-to-mouth resuscitation brings the dead and dying back to physical life. Breath is the breast milk of Source. Time to drink up. Breath is God, hiding within plain sight. You feel the movement of God through the movement of your breath. Breath is the supreme source of life that creates inner substance, which then becomes the form of manifestation. When your relationship with breath is deep and powerful, you become a more powerful manifester. Breath is the life force of us all, and it has no boundaries of separation. Breath is the reminder of our oneness, the oneness of the wholeness. Breath follows and empowers thought and feeling. Therefore, we must be discerning about where we focus our mind and emotions. To be negative toward any being is to be negative toward breath, which blocks our own access to the greater blessings of the breath. Be loving unto all beings. See all beings as a reflection of divinity, for every being is your own self by extension. And to be negative unto any being is to be negative unto your own self, even unto God, Goddess Absolute. To hate an individual being is to hate your Creator. You can't afford that. I can't afford that. And we really don't want to go there. Breath facilitates awakening consciousness. Breath is the means by which I realize that I am happening to my life rather than the illusion that my life is happening to me. The more aligned I am with my breath, the more powerful a creator I am to make my life unfold in the way that I genuinely desire. And the genuineness of desire is deity siring, the God within siring something into being, as we sire children into being. To be inspired is to be moved in creation by breath. Breath is the access code to the fountain of youth. Breath is the evidence of our infinite abundance. The more harmoniously aligned we are with our breathing, the more powerful we are to magnetize abundance unto ourselves. Breath is the activity of love. To breathe is to love, and to love is to breathe. Deep breathing awakens eternal remembrance and is the wings of cosmic consciousness. Breath is the breast milk of God and the exaltation of true selfhood. Time to drink up. And the didgeridoo brings the melody of breath, the song of breath. So let's offer some of this frequency. Breath is the breast milk of Source, of God, of the exaltation of you and me. I am Astarius Miraculi. I love you with the passion of heaven. And I invite you to visit my website. Click on the subscribe link to subscribe to my videos. You got 170 of them to choose from. I am a psychic astrologer. I do some amazing work by the grace of God through psychic astrology, also healings, sound healings with didgeridoo and vocal harmonics, as well as Reiki, and teaching Reiki as well. So I invite you to partake of my services. Let's do some work on a personal level so you can decode a deeper resonance of this being, Astarius Miraculi. I love you so much. Oho, Ashe, Amen, Namaste, Hotep, In Lakesh, Alakim, Shalom, Satnam, Hari Om. Up at the top, there's room for all. It's just the bottom that's crowded, y'all.